Hey, Drive Tribe, Migz here, and I'm with Scott Bosés.
Nice to see you, Migz.
Nice to see you again, Scott. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. You always have amazing cars at all these different events. We see each other so much, we should start sharing a room together or something.
I'm trying to quit, Migz. I'm trying to quit.
But this is great. So, what do you have here for a car today?
This is a 1939 Steyr Baby made in Austria by the Steyr Automobile Company. They've been around a really long time. They started in the 1700s building cannons. And in World War I, they built war machines. And after World War I, because they were on the losing side, they were told they had to build peace machines, no war machines. So they went into the automotive business. And they started building big luxury cars like Maybach and Mercedes, and big open tours. And that's what they were known for.
Okay. Well, this is definitely not one of those big machines like you're saying, but it does have a lot of class to it, obviously. So let's take a look at the car.
This is a classic example of it's easy to build an inexpensive car better, but it's really difficult to build a better car inexpensively. There are many things about this Steyr Baby that show that. It's evident in the way the door closes. Think about a Volkswagen. It doesn't close like a bank vault. What makes this close like a bank vault? There are two locators in the door. There are two chrome receivers in the door frame. And that makes for a very solid closing. And if you listen when I close it, you don't hear the window rattle. You almost always hear window rattles, even in cars today. They went and spent the money to have brass rollers cast on both sides, the inside and the outside, and then put a rubber roller on it so it would keep the window fast. That's not inexpensive to do. And many things about this car are done that way. Notice the chrome handles. That's for your passenger, so that when he gets in and out, he has something to hold on to. They could have just been steel. These are chromed. Windshield wipers. All modern cars should have two. But normally, they have one motor and they have a transmission between them. This car, in their infinite wisdom to build a less expensive car, they put in two wipers which work independently of one another. Also, they thought, well, why do the simple thing and drill through steel when we can use diamond bits and drill through glass? And then we can make lots of fasteners and lots of waterproofing, because the more pieces we make, the less expensive we'll be able to sell the car. Moving up to the front, you'll see that they have a louvered grille. That louvered grille probably was not made on a press, but was hand done. And then each one of those stringers is brass and then chromed, because brass is an inexpensive metal. Purpose-built engine, 4-cylinder, horizontally opposed, and front engine, not rear engine like the Volkswagen. Just let me hold for a moment. Yeah. So you have a radiator. You do not have a water pump. This uses siphon cooling, much like a Model T. The hot water rises up the tube and pushes the cold water back down the other side. No water pump. Gravity feed gas tank, up where it'll do the most damage if you have a front end accident. And then, of course, a Dynastar. Dynastar is the starter and the generator in one housing. And the fan turns all the time off a fan belt. And that's their purpose-built 4-cylinder water-cooled engine, rear-wheel drive, not front-wheel drive. Rolling around, go to the other side, and I'll show you the sunroof, which is really unique. Very unusual to have a double radius curve at this time in metalwork. This would have been hand-formed, and you have a curve front to back, and you have a curve side to side. And most cars at this time, if they were doing a sunroof, it was cloth in the people's car. It was not steel. They had to figure out a way to make this work and be able to slide all the way back. And how they did that, if you notice behind the sunroof, there are some extruded aluminum tracks. And those tracks allow that sunroof to slide all the way back. And it's not a crank, it's machined to be pretty easy to slide. And you'll see that that same extruded track comes all the way forward, goes from the outside of the car back into the car. As we move back around the other side, I'll show you it is fully gauged. You only see 2 gauges, but one of the gauges is a quadruple gauge. That's a clock, that's a real fuel gauge, and that is actually the water temperature. So there is no idiot lights in this car. I'm going to show you also, for all of those cigarette smokers that are out there, the car was equipped with not 1, but 3 ashtrays, because any self-respecting European was a smoker. So there is your sort of middle-of-the-road working-class ashtray for the driver, and your passengers are given cut crystal in the rear on both sides. It rides on pressed steel wheels, which are one of the only things about this car that's relatively inexpensive to make. So they didn't cast the wheels, they're pressed steel. They put in a sheet of steel and press it, and then that's the way the wheel was put together, and then riveted all the way around.
Scott, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
It's always my pleasure.
It is really always a pleasure. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. We'll see you at the next one.
All right, sounds good. Until then, we'll see you on Drive Tribe.